Hello, grade nines. We're going to be looking at some media literacy, and we're going to be looking more specifically at gender stereotypes in advertisements. And continuing with that, we're going to take a look at an ad campaign that Kellogg's Special K. I'm sure you've all enjoyed a bowl of that with some delicious milk, maybe a little sprinkle of sugar or some cut up bananas, strawberries, raspberries, whatever floats your boat. But we're going to take a look at a special ad campaign that they ran in the 90s called Look Good on Your Own Terms. So let's dive in. So here's a little introduction, background info on the ad campaign. Kellogg of Canada launched an unusual ad campaign in the fall of 1996 to promote Special K cereal. A series of 3 ads attacking the fashion industry's ideal of beauty were placed in English-speaking women's magazines. The ads lampooned society's obsession with extreme thinness while stressing fitness and health as the key to a positive body image. A spokesperson for Kellogg said the company decided to run the hard-hitting campaign after holding focus group sessions with young women between the ages of 18 and 26. The test groups expressed dissatisfaction with the media making women feel that they were never thin enough. They wanted to see a more well-rounded approach to health with an emphasis on feeling good about one's weight. The company took a low-key approach to the campaign, tracking consumer response to the first 2 humorous ads before running a third, more serious one. Because of the extremely positive public response in 1997, Kellogg released another set of Special K ads in the same ironic vein, this time featuring television commercials as well as magazine advertisements. As part of the Look Good on Your Own Terms campaign, full-figured Canadian recording artist Jan Arden has appeared on Special K boxes. Another 1999 television spot featured Jacqueline Izzard, a 6-foot-tall, 200-pound firefighter from Toronto. Since its launch, the campaign has collected numerous industry awards. Well, let's take a look at what they're talking about. So here is some of the advertisements. Now, the advertisement looks just as you see it on your screen right now. Ironically, she's the one worried about her weight. You can see her, she's kind of covering up. And this is speaking to the advertising industry at the time, and this is still an issue. So, in how women need to fit into this mold of tall, thin. Then you have this dude here. He's got his chest out, his belly out. He doesn't care. We're always the ones more likely to be concerned, even when we have nothing to be concerned about. But looking your best is about being strong and healthy, not obsessive. Look good on your own terms. Exercise. Refuse to skip meals. Start with a balanced breakfast every morning and go from there. Kellogg's Special K cereal is low in fat and a source of essential nutrients, so it's a light, sensible way to start your day. After all, there's no reason to let your weight control you, especially if you're like her and have nothing to lose. Kellogg's Special K, healthy body weight, looks good on everyone. So that's the first ad that they had put out in a women's magazine. Let's take a look at the second one. This one's a little weird. It's like a dude dressed in, I don't even know, tight pants that don't fit him, crop top shirt that his belly's hanging out. So if only designers had to live up to the same standards they've set for us. So it's time the people who set appearance standards realize that looking your best is about being strong and healthy, not underweight. Look good on your own terms. There's, again, the caption, the slogan for this ad campaign. Exercise, refuse to skip meals, start with a balanced breakfast every morning, and it's the same as the previous ad. Scrolling down. If this is beauty, there's something wrong with the eye of the beholder. You can see, she's got some bones, some of her ribs poking out here. She's pretty thin-waisted. You can see some definite definition in her legs for muscles. We see models like this all the time, but that doesn't mean we should equate being beautiful with being underweight. Look good on your own terms. Exercise, refuse to skip meals, and carries on the same. After all, a healthy body weight should be beautiful in everyone's eyes, and there isn't one of us who should aspire to anything less. A healthy body weight looks good on everyone. So you can kind of get the gist of this ad campaign, and they're trying to criticize the marketing of the time. So this one, there's not a picture of a person here, but you can see a measuring tape used for sewing, and it looks like it would be like where someone would pull it around their waist with something hanging down. It also kind of looks like a tornado. It's unfortunate. Oh, wait, let's read it. Don't let it measure your self-esteem. It's unfortunate that something as insignificant as a tape measure can have such an impact on how we feel about ourselves. Don't let it. It can't measure who you are. And then the classic, start with Special K cereal. After all, looking your best is about being strong and healthy, and the standards you measure yourself by should be your own. Well, that's kind of a nice statement there to finish off. And there's one more, or two more here. A woman's value should not be determined by the pound. So the previous one was about, measuring yourself. This one's about weighing yourself. She's sitting in a huge scale that was probably used like in a farm or a warehouse for measuring things. Fortunately, the more a woman weighs, the less she perceived to be worth. Our value as human beings, however, should have nothing to do with the numbers on a scale. The fact is, we should aspire to a healthy body weight and nothing less. And in the end, every one of us is priceless. So there's number 5, and here is Special K advertisement number 6. The Ashantis of Ghana think a woman's body get more attractive as she ages. Please contact your travel agent for the next available flight. I think this is supposed to be a joke of some sort. A 50-year-old's body looks more attractive than a 20-year-old's? Why not? It's only perception after all. In every culture, our bodies change as we age. Wouldn't it be nice if ours were to celebrate the process? And then classic Special K here. At any age, looking your best is about being strong and healthy, which is important if you expect to be traveling in the near future. All right, let's go back to the lesson. So the next part that you need to do is there is this food for thought editorial. This was an article written. This editorial is reproduced with permission from Marketing Magazine, October 21st, 1996. So this is like when the ad campaign started. So read this through. It's taken out of a magazine, probably maybe not the same magazine that these ads were placed in, because it said these ads were placed in women's magazines. So read through this. It is called Food for Thought. And then directly below it, there are some questions here. After students read the article and then discuss the ads. Were the ads effective? Is the message clear? This was considered a risky campaign. Initially, Kellogg's ran Look Good on Your Own Terms in English Canada only. Once the campaign appeared to be successful, it was expanded to include Quebec and the United States. In what way is this campaign a risk for Kellogg's? By appealing to the intelligence and sense of humor of consumers, will these ads sell more cereal than traditional Special K ads, which exploit insecurities consumers may have about their bodies? Who is the campaign targeted to? Discuss how the audience for marketing campaign influences content. Remember I said that these ads were featured in predominantly women's magazines. How much do viewers' values and knowledge influence the interpretation of this ad? So, get some answers down for those questions. You're going to be looking critically, and your critical skills, your critical thinking skills are going to be applied for this. Looking critically at the the ads that we looked at, which you will have a copy, and this food for thought editorial. Read through it and answer the questions. So think critically about things. That's part of what the English curriculum does, is it forces you to think critically, look at things from a different perspective, put yourself in someone else's shoes and take a peek. There's another article here that I would like you to read. It's called The Two Faces of Kellogg's, because after this campaign was over, they decided, we could be doing better. So then they hired Cindy Crawford. You might be too young to know who Cindy Crawford is, but your parents would know. She's a supermodel, and they used her as like the face of Kellogg's for a little bit. So the right there should kind of tell you or show you where they went after the initial campaign. They hired a supermodel. So that's why the article is called The Two Faces of Kellogg's. On one face, they're preaching about positive body image and not having, thin models selling products. And then a year or two later, they hire the most famous supermodel in the world to be the face of their ad campaign. So that is The Two Faces of Kellogg's. Read through this article here. It's not very long. And then there's a couple questions here to take a look at. Why do you think Kellogg decided to use a more traditional campaign featuring Cindy Crawford in the United States? Cindy Crawford is considered to be a statuesque for a supermodel, but she also has 2 children. Do you think she is an appropriate role model for the average woman? In this article, an American ad executive is quoted saying, "The key component missing in the Good Look campaign was the aspirational aspect of wanting to look better, feel better than you actually are." Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Why or why not? So in the initial one ad campaign with this guy that wrote The Two Faces of Kellogg article there is saying that the key component missing in the Good Look campaign was the aspirational aspect. They're showing essentially faceless women and men. They're not showing like famous people. He's saying that famous people are what people would like to aspire towards. I want to look like this person. I want to be fit like this person. Famous people, not just your average person. So that's what he is talking about here. And do you agree or disagree with the statement? Americans truly do seem to buy into the American dream in all its forms, whereas we Canadians are just more willing to accept who we are and go on with it. Now, do you think this is something that is true or not true? To agree or disagree with this statement? I would say maybe in the rural parts of Canada, this might be true, but I feel like the bigger urban centers like Vancouver and Edmonton and Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, I feel like they're pretty Americanized in the sense that, people are really concerned with what they look like and the clothing that they wear, designer clothing, that they're fit and thin and conform to that mold that has been made by not by consumers, but by the marketing companies and by society saying, we need to look like this. But I feel in Sault Ste. Marie, in smaller communities, it's not as much of a thing. And then, for the academic students, because I'm running out of time here, I only have 45 seconds left, find serial advertisements that use marketing message that promote a thin body image. You can search on YouTube or Google image search. Compare the two approaches. So compare these ones with one that you find. Which ad do you like the best? Which do you think is more effective? And this is for only students in the academic English. And I'm out of time. Over and out. I'll talk to you soon.